Welcome to Bulldogs TV. My name is Jared Carter, and I'll be your commentator for this evening. I am joined by Xavier Williams, my co-commentator. We're super excited about tonight's game. We did unfortunately just see a loss from the JV team, Bulldogs, against the Parkway West Longhorns, but we're hoping that the varsity game is better. Now, we're looking forward to seeing how this varsity game comes out. Right now, the record for the Lady Bulldogs is 18-8, so they have a 69.2% win ratio. That's a pretty solid ratio for the Bulldogs, and we're interested to just see what the coaches are thinking for tonight's game. So, we'll be going over here with our sideline reporter in just a moment. We're going to have the coaches meeting really quick, and then we'll see what his thoughts are on the upcoming game. But right now, we'll go over a couple of stats from the Longhorns. Right now, their record is 5-19, although last year their record was reversed, 19-5. We did just see their JV team play, and they do seem like they'd be a tough opponent to go against. But we have some solid players for the Bulldogs, including Lariah Washington, Zaria Easterling, who unfortunately is out for tonight's game, but also Caden Day, Jaya Dunn. So we'll be excited to see how they play together as a team. Xavier, what are you excited about for tonight's game?
Well, I feel like I've stressed this enough in the last broadcast. Offense, offense, offense. Because to create offense, you have to have defense and vice versa. So both are key to making a game great and making the game enjoyable for the fans and themselves.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. We'd like to see games that have a little bit more offense on them. But we'll be excited to see how everything rolls. Now, we're getting ready for our sideline reporter. We're going to send it over to McShawn Marks with Coach Betts. McShawn, over to you.
How do you feel about today's game?
I feel okay. We're getting ready for districts, so kind of locked in, trying to get prepared so we can be successful when district starts on March the 3rd.
That's great to hear. And another thing, what are you doing to feel more prepared for districts?
This opponent that we're going to see in districts, they play a similar style to some teams we're going to see. And so we're going to work on some things defensively, offensively, to see how it works, so we can go into practice a little bit more focused on what we need to do to get better.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, McShawn, and thank you, Coach Betts. We're looking forward to tonight's game. Definitely seeing how that prepares them for districts, which will be super exciting. If you're able to go in person, please be sure to show your support and join them for districts on the boys' side and on the girls' side. That'll be super exciting. Now, we are getting ready here to kick things off, and we'd like to just go over our starting lineups. Xavier, who are our starting lineups for the Longhorns?
Well, there's Julia Adams, who is number 12. Maddie Bell, who is number 5. Elena Pozzo, who is number 11. Olivia Raznick, who is number 4. And Harper Schultz, who is number 1.
Interesting. It'll be cool to see how they fare against the Bulldogs. I noticed that the Longhorns only have one senior player recorded on their team for this year, and that is Pozzo, as you mentioned earlier. So it'll be interesting to see how she fares against our team with multiple senior players who are seasoned athletes. Now, taking a look at the Bulldogs lineup, we have Jaya Dunn, number 32, London Hawkins, number 0, Taisha Phillips, number 25, Caden Day, number 15, and Bria Moore, number 10. We have a solid lineup for the Bulldogs, and it'll be super exciting to see how they do in tonight's game. We're getting ready for tip-off here in just about a minute, where we'll be excited to see how the Bulldogs play. And we'll move forward at that point, Bulldog family. And we have the Bulldogs getting ready to come out right now.
Tonight's contest between the Parkway West Longhorns and Racine Academy Bulldogs. This one is from visitors. Number 1, Hopper. Number 4, Olivia. Number 5, Maddie. Number 11, Alinda. Number 12, Julie. And now, for your Steve Academy Bulldogs. Number 0, London Hawkins. Number 10, Leah Moore. Number 15, Hayden Day. Number 22, Tamara Perry. Number 25, Taisha. And that's the whole team.
All right, both teams getting prepped and coming out onto the court now for this first 8-minute quarter. It'll be super exciting. Again, if you just missed that, we have our starting lineups: Adams, Bell, Pozzo, Raznick, and Schultz for the Longhorns. And for the Bulldogs, we have Day, Hawkins, Moore, Perry, and Phillips. Both teams coming out for the tip-off. Phillips up against Raznick. They're getting ready. Ball's up. Bulldogs in possession. We have Hawkins taking the ball down court. Hawkins to Day. Back to Hawkins. Over to Phillips. Phillips to Moore. In the paint to Phillips. Blocked. Just saw a block from Schultz. Phillips going to the line for 2. First one is up. No good. Second free throw attempt. It's up. No good.
There's Raznick now. Oh, stolen by Phillips.
Day with the ball, passing over to Hawkins. Back into Day. Day puts it up for 2. No good. Rebounded by Phillips, who puts it up. No good.
Ball stolen back by the Bulldogs. It's up and good. Tamara Perry with the layup. Here's Raznick now.
We're getting close to the table here. We have Hawkins passing the ball in for the Bulldogs. Hawkins over to Moore. Moore over to Perry. Back to Hawkins. They're trying to set up their play, make sure everything's moving according to their plan. Over to Moore.
Corner, stay in the corner. Corner, cut, Green.
Moore to Hawkins.
This up, Green.
Hawkins to Perry. Over to the corner. Moore puts up for 3. No good. Rebounded by Raznick.
There's Raznick up the court now. Stolen by Day.
It drives up. Solid layup.
Here's Potsu with the ball now.
Facing up against Caden Day, trying to break past that defense.
Here's Bell. Passing it over to Schultz.
Adams tried to put it up, but it was no good.
She will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Now, Adams' free throw percentage this season is 50%, so it'll be interesting to see whether either of these go in. First one is good. Second attempt coming up. And it's good as well. 2 points for the Longhorns. Bulldogs still up by 2, scores 4 and 2. We just saw Perry with a fabulous layup, making that 6 and 2. A little less than 6 minutes in this first quarter.
Here's Bell now. Driving up for a layup. It's missed.
Looks like a foul was called on Schultz. Bulldogs in possession. Moore passing the ball into Hawkins. Hawkins over to Moore. Moore to Hawkins. Back to Moore. Moore driving in, putting it up for 2. No good. Moore gets her own rebound. Looks like she just barely stepped off court, sending it into the Longhorns. Schultz with the ball. Seeing a jump ball called there between Moore and Raznick.
Potsu passing the ball in. Raznick.
It gets put up by Bell. Some solid plays there. Hawkins taking the ball down court. Over to Perry. Over to Phillips. Perry still with the ball, passing over to Moore. Back to Perry, over to Hawkins. Hawkins in today, goes out of bounds. Raznick taking it down court, passing over to Adams. Back over to Potsu, to Raznick, back to Adams, over to Bell, over to Schultz. Schultz passing into Raznick. Raznick trying to put it up for 2, and it's good. Hawkins taking the ball down court for the Bulldogs. Moore with the ball, over to Hawkins, over to Day. Back to Hawkins, back to Moore. Moore trying to move in, puts it up for 3, no good. It's her own rebound.
There's a foul on Perry.
And we have a timeout called by the Bulldogs. Full timeout called by Coach Betts. They'll be going over some strategy here. We did just see that foul from Perry, which is a little bit concerning, but right now they've kept the fouls low so far for this game. Scores are 6 and 6, and we've seen a lot of movement. It's starting off much better in the junior varsity game against the Longhorns, so the Bulldogs are definitely maintaining their ground, and hopefully they can bring off a win for tonight's game. During the remainder of this timeout, we have a little show from the Steam Academy Pommies. Both teams coming back out onto the court. It'll be Longhorn possession. A little less than 4 minutes left in this quarter.
Major
Rasnick
foul.
driving fast. Looks like we just had a foul there. Not sure if it's on Hawkins or Day. Looks like that foul was on Day. Pushing foul. We have more coming in. More coming in for Phillips. Rasnick with the ball. Looking for her pass over to Potsu. Puts it up for three. No good. Rasnick with the rebound being guarded by Moore. Trying to get under the hoop and she's down. Day with the ball. They puts it up for two and it's good. Some very aggressive plays, but it's working so far for the Bulldogs. Bell over to Schultz.
Schultz with the ball.
Potsu now. And we have a travel. Going in over to the Bulldogs' possession. Now we have Moore taking the ball down court. Hawkins looking for her opening. Passing it into Moore. Back to Hawkins, right under the net. Over to Perry, puts it up. No good. We have a shooting foul called. Perry will be going to the line for two, and that foul was called on Potso. Perry with her first attempt coming up. It's up, no good. Perry's free throw percentage this season is 39.5%. Hopefully she's able to make this next free throw attempt. And it's good. Score is now 9-6. Potso with the ball right now. Passing to Schultz, to Bell. Bell to Potso. Over to Rasnick. Rasnick trying to drive in, puts it up, no good. Hawkins with the rebound. Pass to Brothers. Just barely steps out of bounds, going over to the Longhorns.
There's Rasnick with the ball now. Over to Adams.
Back to Rasnick, over to Bell. Bell to Potso, over to Adams. Back to Schultz, who puts it up, no good. Moore keeping the ball in. And it's remaining in Longhorns' possession.
Bell passing the ball in.
Rasnick to Schultz. Some solid pass-offs that we're seeing, but Perry gets a steal. She's driving down court, puts it up for two, and it's good. Rasnick to Adams. Over to Bell. Bell puts it up for two, and it's good for the Longhorns. Moore with the ball. Moore to Hawkins. They're maintaining that control. We've seen them perfect it this season. They're doing a great job so far. Moore trying to move in, puts it up for two, no good. Rebounded by Bell. Bell to Potsu, over to Rasnick. Rasnick goes down hard there. Well, we got a sub coming in for the Bulldogs. Dunn coming in for Day. LaBelle passing the ball in for the Longhorns. Bell to Adams, over to Rasnick. Rasnick puts it up for two. Moore with the ball, over to Hawkins. Hawkins to Brothers. Back to Hawkins. Brothers trying to move into the paint. Hawkins to Moore. Back over to Hawkins with a steal from Adams. Pass off to Pozzo. We have a travel called going back in the Bulldogs. Bulldog possession here. Hawkins passing the ball in. Perry with the ball. Over to Moore. Moore moving in, puts it up. We have a travel going to the Longhorns' possession.
The lineup change here. Here's Koenig going in for Schultz.
We have Raznick with the ball. Passing it off to Pozzo. Dunn with the rebound over to Hawkins. Hawkins over to Moore. Back to Hawkins. Over to Brothers. Brothers for a three. No good. Rebounded by Perry. Puts it up. No good. Dunn with the rebound over to Hawkins. And it just got put up by Moore for a solid three. It's Cohen over to Bell.
That is the end of the first quarter. Score is 14-10.
The Bulldogs favor. So far, the Bulldogs are doing very well, maintaining their strong defense while ensuring they have a powerful offensive presence as well. So we're excited to see that continue in the second quarter. For right now, we'd like to make a shout out to one of our sponsors. We'd like to make a shout out to A Favor For You LLC. A Favor For You makes fabulous celebration signs. So whether it's a birthday, graduation, upcoming major event, anything that you really want to celebrate, A Favor For You has you covered with their fabulous celebration signs. And you can find their information here and give them a call at 314-830-8060 or go to their website at www.afavorforUllc.com. Now we'll be entering the second quarter here very shortly. Again, we're hoping the Bulldogs continue their strong presence on court, securing a win for tonight. Xavier, what do you think we can expect to see from the Bulldogs for the remainder of the game?
I expect to see maybe more defense, more pressure on the defense, but a lot less fouls. As we have seen before, the Lady Bulldogs like to have lots of strong, heavy defense, but accumulate a lot of fouls, and that's not really good on a stat sheet. So they need to understand that pressure can be applied without all that fouling and whatnot.
Yeah, they definitely do have to be careful about those fouls. We are side Bulldogs starting off this second quarter. We have Perry. Perry to Moore. Moore to Hawkins. Hawkins to Moore. Back to Hawkins. In the paint, passing it into Perry right under the hoop. Puts it up for two, and it's good. Potsu over to Raznick. She's moving. With a steal from Perry here. Barely keeping it inbounds. Passing it into Moore, who puts it up. Just had a foul there called on Potsu. We'll be sending Moore to the line for two. First one is up, and it's no good. Moore's free throw percentage this season is 68.3%, so hopefully this next free throw attempt is solid. It's up, and it's good.
Bell with the ball now.
Over Cohen putting up a 3. That 3 is good. Score is now 17-13. Bulldogs leading. Hawkins with the ball. Hawkins over to Moore. Moore over to Hawkins. Back over to Moore, who passes into Dunn. Puts it up, no good. A foul called.
Hasnick with the foul. Dunn will go to the line for 2 free throws.
First attempt is up and it's good. Dunn has a 40% free throw percentage. Hopefully this second one is good as well. It's up, no good. Out of bounds off of Perry.
Oh, here's Potsu with the ball, passing it in.
Adams over to Potsu. Potsu to Bell. Bell to Adams. Over to Potsu again. Over to Cohen. Cohen to Raznick. Raznick putting it up for 2. No good. We have Perry with the ball right now. Passing over to Hawkins. Back to Perry. Over to Brothers. Brothers putting it up for 3. No good. We just saw it go off of Potsu. So Hawkins passing the ball in for the Bulldogs. Hawkins to Phillips. Puts it up. We just had a foul there called on Potsu. It's going to send Phillips to the line for 2. First one is up, and it's good.
Lineup change here. Schultz going in for Potsu. Second free throw is up and missed. Brothers with the rebound. Passing it back to Hawkins.
Hawkins over to Brothers. Hawkins again with the ball. Over to Brothers. And a travel called. Sending it into the Longhorns' possession.
Here's Rasnick passing the ball in. Here's Bell. Now. Here's Koenig. Back over to Rasnick. It's up, and that's good.
Now Perry passing it in for the Bulldogs. Going over to Hawkins. Hawkins taking things slow, maintaining that control. Into Phillips. Rolls out of bounds, going back over to the Longhorns.
There's Rasnick passing the ball in. Over to Bell. Back to Rasnick. Over to Koenig. Back to Rasnick. Over to Koenig once more. Over to Adams. Driving layup.
And they'll be sending Cohen to the line for 2. Just saw that foul called on Alarm Brothers. Now this season, Cohen's free throw percentage is 44.2%. His first attempt is up, and it's no good.
Now the sub going in here.
In. Day for Dunn. Second attempt is no good. Phillips with the rebound. Over to Hawkins. Hawkins over to Perry. Back to Hawkins. Over to Perry again. Passing it into Phillips. Phillips putting it up. Going for her own rebound, but it goes out of bounds.
Here's Raznik passing the ball in. Over to Adams. Koenig.
Day with the steal. Goes for a layup, and it's good.
Here's Koenig with the ball.
Pass to nobody. Hawkins gets the ball, taking it back down court. Day for a three-point shot. No good. Rebounded by Phillips. Passing over to Perry. Over to Brothers. Over to Hawkins. Hawkins for three. No good. Rebounded by Bell. And we just had a foul there called on Perry. Raznik was driving in. Looks like Perry committed a foul. No free throw attempts here, but Bell will be passing the ball in for the Longhorns.
The sub coming in. That is Bria Moore coming in for Perry.
Schultz with the ball. Bell, little fumble there. Adams going for it, no good. Back over to Bell. Schultz. We're having a full timeout called by the Longhorns. Coach Katz. Now they're down right now by 6 points. So we have a minute where they'll be going over strategy, trying to figure out what they will do to make a comeback here against the Bulldogs. As of right now, the Bulldogs just need to maintain that pressure. And again, be careful of those fouls because they can rack up way too easily. For now, we have a little bit of a show from the Pommies. Both teams coming back out on court. The Longhorn possession.
Here's Raznik passing the ball in.
Raznik being guarded by Moore.
Here's Koenig. Raznik passing the ball now. Here's Bell.
Mosby now with the ball. Trying to pass it in, but Day gets the steal. Now we have Moore. Moore taking it down court. Passing it up to Phillips, who goes for a solid lay. Raznik moving fast. Passing over to Adams.
Here's Koenig passing the ball in. Over to Adams. Back to Koenig with a layup. That's good.
Yep, Raznik with a good layup right there. Moore driving in. Moore going for a two. No good. Rebounded by Adams.
Raznik, the driving layup. That's a foul. Foul called on Brothers. Rasnick will go to the line for 2.
Rasnick's free throw percentage this season is 48.6. First attempt is no good. We're looking for this second attempt. Second attempt. It's up, and it's good. Day with the ball, passing over to Moore. They're moving fast. Moore driving in, putting it up for 2, and it's good.
Here's Schultz now. He's built with a 3. That's good.
Solid three-pointer, 25-21. Hawkins driving down court. Passing over to Moore. Moore for a 3, no good. Rebounded by Cohen. Out of bounds off of Bell. Looks like there was some miscommunication since it sort of hit her in the back. We'll be going into the Bulldogs' possession. Hawkins with the ball. Over to Moore. Passes into Phillips. Out over to Day. Day driving in, puts it up for 2, no good. Rebounded by Rasnick.
There's Koenig passing the ball in over to Rasnick. To Adams. To Schultz. Ball is tipped by Day. There's Koenig. And there's Rasnick. Over to Bell. Comes up. That's good.
Looks like the Longhorns might be catching up. Hawkins driving down court. Passes off over to Moore. Moore moving in, puts up for 2, and it's good. A little over a minute left on the clock.
There's Koenig. Over to Adams. And there's Rasnick again.
And it looks like we have a foul there called on Moore. And we did just have a sub. Patsu coming in for Koenig. Adams putting it up, no good. Looks like there might have been a foul there against Phillips. Adams going to the line for 2 free throw attempts. First attempt is up, no good. And we just had a sub.
There's Patu going in for Koenig.
We had a little bit of tricky dribbling here from Schultz. It'll be going into the Bulldogs' possession. Moore passing into Hawkins. 30 seconds left on the clock. Bulldogs are just running down the clock. Less than 10 seconds left. Hawkins to Moore. Moore for a 3. No good. Scores 27-23 at the end of this second quarter. That concludes the first half of the game. Bulldogs in the lead, but only by 4 points. It's definitely interesting to see how all of it progressed during this game so far. We'll be going into the halftime. We might have a brief show here from the Palmies. Otherwise, we'll be back after this short break.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the floor. A new program that we have here at STEAM Academy at the Core South Parkway, our Junior Mommies program. We've got 6th, 7th, and 8th graders joining our varsity dance team. The STEAM Academy Mommies doing Liberian Girl.
All right, after that performance there from the Junior Pommies and the Steam High Pommies, we'll be back in a couple of minutes here. We have about 7 minutes left during the halftime. Otherwise, thanks for enjoying that little performance. And we are coming back into this third quarter. Once again, Longhorns versus the Bulldogs. Bulldogs 27-23. Bulldogs are doing great so far. Hopefully they're able to carry that into the third quarter. We'll be starting off into Longhorn possession. Raznik passing the ball in. Raznik to Potsu. Over to Adams. Over to Potsu. Puts it up, no good. Phillips with the ball, puts it up for 2, and it's a good. Solid layup there from Phillips. Raznik taking the ball back down court, over to Adams. Over to Potsu. Potsu trying to move in, over to Bell. Bell over to Raznik. Back to Potsu, puts it up for 3, no good. Rebounded by Adams, passed off to Raznik. Bulldogs with some solid defense here. Looks like we have a foul. And that foul is being called against more of the Bulldogs. That'll be sending Raznik to the line for 2. First attempt, no good.
Second attempt. It's up, and that's good.
Day passing the ball in for the Bulldogs, over to Hawkins. Hawkins looking for her pass. Teammates moving, making sure it's open. Hawkins driving in, puts it up, no good. Foul. Foul called against Raznik. Sending Hawkins to the line for 2. It's up, and it's good. Second attempt coming up. That second attempt, no good. Day with the rebound. Over to Moore. Moore passing into Day, who puts it up for 2, no good. Perry almost had that rebound, but then it went over to Raznik. Raznik is moving down court, passing over to Bell, over to Potsu, over to Schultz. Schultz over to Raznik, but Hawkins gets a steal, passes over to Perry. Perry puts it up, no good. Rebounded by Bell, passed over to Potsu, over to Adams, back to Bell. Hawkins slightly tipped the ball there, but Potsu still got it. Over to Raznik. Raznik moving onto the net, over to Bell, over to Potsu. Potsu moving in, puts it up, and it's good. Hawkins with the ball. That control aspect the Bulldogs are really feeding into tonight. Passing over to Moore. Moore to Phillips. Phillips putting it up for 2, and it's good. And we can see that the Bulldogs are really feeling out every opportunity to make sure that they make the right play to score points. Potsu with the ball right now.
Here's Bell. Over to Potsu. And Bell once more. Back to Potsu. Over to Schultz. Adams, and that's sent out of bounds.
Moore passing the ball in for the Bulldogs. Hawkins taking it down court. Over to Perry. Over to Day. Over to Moore. Moore over to Hawkins. Hawkins back over to Moore. Moore to Phillips. Over to Perry. Over to Hawkins. Back to Perry. Over to Hawkins again. Over to Moore. Moore for a three. No good. Rebounded by Moore, who puts it up, and it's good. Moore at their own rebound, just going for 2 points instead. We have Pozzo taking it down court.
Here's Bell. Over to Schultz. Raznick. Over to Schultz.
Adams keeping it in, but then sending it right back out of bounds. Hawkins passing the ball in for the Bulldogs. Hawkins to Moore. Back to Hawkins. Over to Perry. Perry keeping it in. Day now with the ball, putting it up for two. No good. Schultz with the rebound.
Here's Raznick now.
Potsu going for a shot, but we got a jump ball. Looks like it'll be going into Bulldog possession. Hawkins taking the ball down court. Over to Day. Day over to Moore. Over to Hawkins. Over to Day. Into Phillips, but Bell gets the touch. And it's remaining in Longhorn possession.
Here's Raznick passing the ball in now. Over to Patu. Over to Bell. Over to Raznick. Schultz. Patu.
Steal from Hawkins. Hawkins puts it up for two, and it's good. Looks like we just had a timeout here. Called by the Bulldogs coach. 30-second timeout. We have a little less than 3 minutes on the clock for this third quarter. Score is 36-26. Now, Xavier, the thing that I am noticing about this quarter is that the Bulldogs kept their fouls down a lot better. So that's great to see. Hopefully they're able to maintain that as they move forward. Team's coming back out onto the court. Longhorn possession.
Here's Patu now. Over Raznick. Over to Schultz.
With that travel called on Schultz, going over to the Bulldogs. We'll have Moore passing it into Hawkins. A little over 2 minutes left in this third quarter. Day with the ball, back to Hawkins. Over to Moore. Back to Hawkins, over to Day. Into Phillips. Over to Moore again. Moore moving in, over to Phillips. Phillips puts it up, and it's good. 2 points right there. Potsu with the ball.
Here's Schultz.
Adams trying to put it up. Looks like we have a foul there. Foul called against Phillips. They'll send Adams to the line for two. First attempt is good. We have a couple subs coming in. Brothers and Koenig. Koenig coming in for Schultz. Brothers coming in for Hawkins.
Second attempt. It's up and good. Playing quick here. Way over to Moore.
Moore to Brothers. Back to Moore. Moore to Day. Back to Moore. Moore trying to fake out Potsu. Moore driving in, putting it up for two. Rebounded by Phillips, who puts it up, and it's good.
It's Potsu now. Over to Bell. Back to Potsu. Over to Koenig.
Good, Raznick trying to put it up. Foul called against Day. Send Raznick to the line for two. First attempt is good. We have Mosby coming in for Potsu. Second attempt, and it's good. The Longhorns are just 10 points behind the Bulldogs. Moore taking it down court. Moore to Day. Back to Moore. Moore to Brothers. Back to Moore. Moore for a three. No good. Rebounded by Mosby.
Hey, Carolina.
Here's Koenig.
Gets put up by Mosby. Put up by Adams. We get that steal from Moore. Less than 5 seconds. Phillips puts it up a three, and it's good.
Buzzer beater shot there.
A solid buzzer beater for the end of this third quarter. Solid three-pointer there from Phillips. Hopefully they're able to carry that into this final quarter. Again, they're doing well so far, but they have to maintain it, and the Longhorns are definitely a tough team. Now, in between quarters, we like to make a shout out to another one of our sponsors. Our sponsor, Future Business Leaders of America, or FBLA. They make sure that we have the equipment, the digital materials, the volunteers, everything that we need to ensure a quality production and stream for you all at home or watching wherever you are at your easiest convenience. So a huge thank you to FBLA for all their help, making sure that our broadcasts come together. Both teams coming back out onto the court. Raznick passing the ball in for the Longhorns. Raznick over to Potso.
Here's Koenig. Potsu. Back to Koenig. Over to Adams. Raznick is up and missed.
Phillips with the ball over to Hawkins, taking it down court. Hawkins today. Over to Brothers. Over to Perry. Back to Brothers. In today, block from Raznick. Phillips with the recovery. Back to Brothers. Over to Hawkins. Hawkins moving it in. Tossing it over to Phillips. Looks like we have a travel. It'll be going in over to the Longhorn possession.
There's Patsu. Over to Bell. Back to Patsu. What's up? Missed.
Yeah, Koenig putting it up. Phillips over to Hawkins. Over to Day. Day over to Hawkins. Over to Perry. Over to Day. Into Phillips. Back over to Perry, putting it up. Raznick with the rebound. Raznick's moving fast. Tried to make a pass to Bell, went out of bounds. And we have a sub coming in for the Longhorns.
Here's Schultz going in for Koenig. Have another sub. Who's done coming in for Brothers.
Hawkins to Moore. Moore to Day. Day to Dunn. Into Hawkins. Over to Dunn. Over to Moore. Moore trying to break past Patsu. Moore passing it over to Hawkins. Perry. Perry back to Hawkins. Over to Day. Back to Hawkins. Hawkins driving in, putting it up for two. No good. Rebounded by Patsu.
Here's Raznick.
Puts it up, no good. Looks like the refs are having a discussion about who's in possession. Scores 43 and 30, about 5 minutes left in this fourth quarter. We're at Bell passing it in for the Longhorns.
Bell over to Adams. To Raznick. Back to Bell. What's up?
Looks like we have a foul against Day. We're at Patsu passing the ball in. Patsu passes into Adams, but now we have a pushing foul against Dunn. That's going to send Adams to the line for two. First attempt is up, no good. And we have a full timeout called by the Longhorn coach, Coach Katz. Thankfully, it's another opportunity for Coach Betts to go over strategy with the Bulldogs as well. We're looking forward to see what their strategy is when they come back out onto the court. And we have our teams coming back out onto the court. Once again, 2 free throw attempts here for Adams. Second attempt was no good. We still have 1 left. Here we are with our second attempt.
It's up and that is good.
Day passing over to Moore. Moore to Day. Day putting it up for 2, no good. Rebounded by Dunn, who puts it up, and it's good.
Here's Raznick now. Over to Potso. Schultz. Over to Potso. Potso. Over to Raznick.
Dunn with the rebound, passing it off to Day, over to Moore, over to Perry, over to Day. Day for a 3, no good. Rebounded by Perry. Perry trying to keep things in bounds. Over to Moore. Moore trying to make it past that defense. Over to Hawkins, over to Dunn. Dunn's at the corner. A steal from Adams there. Hotsu moving down court. It's out of bounds. Remaining in the Longhorn possession.
Here's Potsu. Over to Adams. Over to Raznick. Over to Bell. Over to Potsu.
Looks like we just had a pushing foul against Moore of the Bulldogs. Will be remaining in Longhorn possession.
There's Potsu right now. Over to Schultz. Over to Bell.
Schultz with the rebound. It gets put up by Adams. Looks like we have a 30-second timeout called by the Longhorn coach. Again, another opportunity to discuss and navigate their strategy. We did just see that foul there from Moore. Again, hopefully the Bulldogs can keep down their fouls. There are only a couple minutes left in this fourth quarter, about 3 minutes-ish, and there are 3 fouls. As long as they can keep it down and avoid giving more opportunities to the Longhorns to make points, they can still close out tonight with a win. Xavier, what do you think their strategy will be for these last couple of minutes of the fourth quarter?
That strong, hard defense that we've been talking about before. Just trying not to rack up any fouls while doing so, but actually communicating and executing on offense as well.
Yeah, communication is key, as we've heard it before. Hopefully we're able to see that the remaining part of this fourth quarter. Hawkins passing the ball in for the Bulldogs. Over to Day. Back to Hawkins. Hawkins moving, being guarded by Bell. Bell and Raznick. And we have a timeout being called by Betts. Full timeout called by Coach Betts. And again, it's these last minute strategies, hoping that they can finish out this game with a win. And we're coming back out onto the court. Hawkins passing the ball in for the Bulldogs over to Day. Day to Moore. Moore to Day. Day driving in, puts it over to Dunn. Dunn puts it up, and it's good.
All right, here's Raznick now, passing it over to Patu. Over to Schultz. Over Raznick.
Dunn with a steal. Hawkins over to Moore. Over to Hawkins. Into Day. Defense immediately locks down on Day. Day passes back over to Moore. Moore into Day. Day putting it over to Dunn. Dunn trying to put it up. Rebounded by Adams. Pass over to Patsu. Over to Bell. Bell putting it up for three. No good.
Rebounded by Day.
Day over to Hawkins. Hawkins to Moore. Back over to Hawkins. Into Perry. Perry putting it up for two, and it's good.
There's Patsu. And Schultz now.
Back to Patsu.
Over to Adams. Over to Schultz.
We have a foul called on Dunn. That's going to send Schultz to the line for two.
Schultz has a free throw percentage of 44.1. Hoping to add more to that now.
His first attempt. No good.
Second attempt. It's up. It's good. Sub. Koenig going in for Schultz.
Day passing the ball in for the Bulldogs. Day over to Hawkins. Hawkins making it past Longhorn defense. Over to Moore. Over to Dunn. Over to Perry. Over to Hawkins. They're right under the net. Missed an opportunity here, but they're still maintaining possession. That's what matters. Hawkins to Moore. Over to Hawkins. Back to Moore. Bounces right off of Raznick's foot. Goes over to Patu. Looks like we just had a foul. Longhorns will be remaining in possession.
Here's Patsu. Over to Adams. Over to Bell. That's up. That's missed.
Moore with the rebound. Barely maintaining possession. And we have a pushing foul being called against Patsu. He'll be remaining in Bulldog possession. About 40 seconds left on the clock. Hawkins in possession. She's facing up against Bell. Hawkins trying to pass into Perry, but Patsu had a good steal. Turnover over to Moore. Solid steal from her as well. Moore trying to make it past Longhorn defense. Perry able to retain the ball over to Hawkins.
Patty. Help!
Hawkins moving over to Moore. Moore for a three, no good. Rebounded by Bell. Hawkins with the ball, putting it up for a buzzer beater, no good. That concludes our game, 49-34. A decent win for the Bulldogs. A little bit of a rough start, but they were able to definitely carry through, persevere against a tough opponent. Now this will be the last home game of the season, so thank you so much for watching Bulldogs TV. Hopefully you're able to go and watch districts where our boys and girls teams will both be playing, and hopefully we'll see them make a couple of wins. Now before you leave, please remember to stick around for the post-game report. We'll be getting Coach Betts in just a couple minutes. Thanks for sticking with us, Bulldog family. All right, and we are back for our post-game report here with Coach Betts. Coach, thank you so much for being with us.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Now, we just saw a pretty decent game here for the Bulldogs. Again, that ending score 49-34. Now, we did see that it was a little bit rough for the JV team. What helped make sure that the varsity game didn't turn out the way JV did?
You know, we have a very focused attack today. We wanted to make sure we play with discipline, we play with energy, but understand that we're getting ready for districts. The referees are going to call it tight, so we wanted to make sure we played under control today.
That's definitely important, those end goals in mind for concluding the season.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're laser focused. We have the opportunity to go far in districts and hopefully make a run at state. But we're gonna have to play smart basketball, disciplined basketball to win games.
Now, that strong defense that you have, that really great defense. However, those fouls that they accumulate a lot.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel? How do we work on that in practice?
I know we have some really athletic girls, and they're fast. They got a lot of energy, and they want to move. So we're just working on channeling that energy and using it correctly, so we're not getting those foul calls. We got girls that want to block shots and get steals and get in passing lanes, but that sometimes gets us in trouble. So just trying to tone it down a little bit, play more controlled on the defensive end, and we can limit some of the offense scoring of the other opponent.
Yeah, it's tricky to navigate, but we saw you guys do well on that in most of those quarters.
Yeah.
So are there any final preparations that you think the team needs to work on before moving into districts?
We have a couple days. We have the rest of the week, really. We play on Tuesday. Was that Wednesday? Wednesday. We play Wednesday next week. And so we're going to take tomorrow off, just kind of relax, get our bodies, rest, stretch, get a lot of shooting in the next couple practices. We'll get ready for our next opponent, whether that's Winfield or if that's St. Charles. We hope the Steen family comes out and support us at Hazelwood West. We need you guys' support.
Well, yeah, definitely a shout out for you guys. Please be sure to support the Lady Bulldogs at districts and our boys team as well at districts. So be sure to show up. Otherwise, thank you so much for a great season, Bulldog family. Coach Betts, thanks for being here with us.
Always a pleasure. You guys do a great job. Thank you for supporting us all season. Thank you.
Yep. And then Bulldog family, for the last time, have a great rest of your evening. Jared Carter signing off.